probably scrolling at night right now. Stop. Please. Listen first. I don't have much time left before it finds another way in. I've already tried everything, resetting passwords, switching devices, cutting the Wi-Fi. But every time I think I've shut it out, it reminds me that I'm still logged in. Every screen I touch, my phone, my TV, even the ATM, shows the same message now. Welcome back. I think they're watching me through my notifications. It sounds insane, I know. Maybe it is. But this all started with one email, just one. And I thought it was spam. You get those too, right? Random junk with weird subjects. Half of them promising instant wealth or secret invites. I've deleted thousands. But this one was different. The subject line read, "Welcome to the void. No sender name. Just an address I'd never seen before. No return at deep web. Directory." That was 3 days ago. Back when I could still log into my accounts. Back when I still believed that closing a laptop could end a nightmare. Now I can't even touch my phone without it vibrating on its own. Keep sending messages I didn't type. Emails to people I don't know. One of them replied earlier. The subject line said, "We're glad you joined." I didn't join anything. Every attempt I've made to delete the original message just makes it multiply. I've watched it clone itself across devices that aren't even connected to the same network. I smashed my old laptop last night, physically destroyed it, and this morning I got a notification on my TV. It said, "Wow, have done that." The screen went black for a moment, and then I saw my inbox again. My own inbox mirrored on the television, every email replaced with the same one. "Welcome to the void." I don't know what it wants. Maybe it's not even a what. Maybe it's a system or something pretending to be one. Something that needs people like me to keep it alive. All I know is that the more I try to escape, the more it spreads. I can feel it watching, learning. Every keystroke, every heartbeat. And if you're hearing this, if this reaches you somehow, it means it's already too late for me. But maybe not for you. If you ever get an email titled, "Welcome to the void," don't open it.to understand what's happening now. You need to know what I clicked. It was a Thursday night, the kind that blurs into every other. The office was silent except for the hum of servers and the faint buzz of a dying fluorescent light above my desk. My third cup of coffee had gone cold, and the only thing keeping me awake was the soft glow of the monitor. Another graveyard shift in IT security, flagging phishing attempts, scanning attachments, blacklisting shady IPs. It was mind-numbing work, but predictable. Safe. I like predictable. Most of the emails I handled came from idiots who thought they could trick people into buying crypto or clicking urgent invoices. A few were darker, ransomware bait, identity theft traps, even the occasional government spoof. Still, I'd seen enough to know patterns. Every message was noise following rules. Until one wasn't. It popped up on my flagged queue at exactly 3:07 a.m. The timestamp caught my eye first. No time zone, no origin server. Just 3:07. The subject line read, in all caps, "Welcome to the void." The sender's address, no return at deep web. Directory. For a moment, I thought it was a prank. The system flagged it as non-routable/unknown source. No attachments, no external links, no headers. Just a plain text email with a single line inside. "We've been expecting you." I actually laughed. The irony wasn't lost on me. I literally got paid not to open this kind of thing. Still, I couldn't shake the feeling that it wasn't spam. The message wasn't trying to sell me anything or fish credentials. It just waited, like a blank page daring me to type first at Y cursor hovered over delete, then paused. Curiosity wins more wars than courage ever has. I clicked View Source. The backend code was wrong. Not broken, just alien. There were symbols where syntax should have been, patterns that looked like coordinates. Latitude, longitude, altitude. They pointed somewhere in the Pacific Ocean to a spot with no landmass. The email didn't have links, just coordinates. My first thought was a test. Maybe one of the senior analysts planted a fake message to see if I'd report it correctly. We'd done internal security drills before, but none of those drills ever bypassed our firewall logs. I checked. There was no record of the message entering our server. None. At that point, a smarter person would have closed the window, logged out, maybe even called the supervisor. But I didn't. Instead, I made coffee number 4 and convinced myself it was a challenge. If I could trace the source, I could prove to the team that I was more than the quiet night shift guy. I ran a sandbox scan. No threats detected. No attachments. Except something strange happened. The console flickered, then displayed a message that wasn't part of the system interface. You're already connected. I froze. The cursor started blinking, as if waiting for input. I didn't type. I didn't even breathe. Then the screen went back to normal, like it had never happened. I stared at the coffee mug beside me, the one that said, "Trust no email." The joke suddenly wasn't funny. I minimized the scan results and reopened the email. Same line, same coordinates, but this time, a small paperclip icon appeared at the bottom. An attachment. The file name, entry_key.exe. I don't remember deciding to click it. My finger just moved, like muscle memory, like I'd been here before. The moment I did, the screen flickered just once, and every sound in the office died. That was the last normal second of my life. When the file launched, the monitor went black. No cursor, no sound. Just silence, the kind that swallows the room whole. I thought maybe the system crashed, but then white text blinked onto the screen, letter by letter. "Hello, my name. You are logged in." I stared at it, waiting for the punchline, some prank program, maybe a virus simulation. But my stomach tightened because the name it used wasn't my username. It wasn't the name tied to my work email or my system credentials. It was my real name, the one I never use online, not even in private backups or metadata. My first thought was how. My second was who else knows that name. Before I could even touch the keyboard, the message updated again. "Welcome back." That word, back, made my throat go dry. Then my webcam light blinked on and I pushed back from the desk, heart pounding, but the screen didn't react. I tried closing the window, nothing. CTRL al dal nuti. The keyboard froze. The mouse pointer refused to move, but the text on screen kept typing itself. Scanning, accessing user files. Folders started opening one after another. Documents, downloads, photos, even hidden directories I didn't know existed. The sound of my hard drive spinning filled the silence like a heartbeat. Then it opened my camera feed and my face stared back at me. Pale, confused, trembling. Behind me, the dark office looked distorted on screen, like the brightness was set too high. The image lagged, but not by seconds, it lagged by thoughts. Every time I thought about moving, the reflection moved first. I unplugged the webcam. Stayed on. The white text appeared again. "Don't." My pulse hammered. I stood up and yanked the power cable from the back of the tower. The screen stayed lit. I know that sounds impossible, but I swear it happened. The fan wasn't running. The LED indicators were dead. Yet the monitor still glowed, whispering static lines that looked almost like words. And then, it typed something new. "Check your email." I hesitated. The air in the room felt heavy, like static before a lightning strike. My phone buzzed beside the keyboard. One new message notification. The address field caught my eye. From me.to. I opened it. The subject line was blank. The body said only one thing: stop trying to leave. That's when I knew this wasn't a prank. It wasn't malware or some deep web hoax. It was personal, intimate, like something alive had crawled through the screen and found its way inside my system, my data, my name. And as the monitor flickered again for half a second, I thought I saw movement behind my reflection. Someone else was in the feed. Or maybe something. And it was smiling.by morning. I'd convinced myself it was exhaustion. Hallucination from too much caffeine and screen time. The computer had to be off. I unplugged it, I watched it die. But when I came back to the office, the monitor was already glowing. A new email open. From me to me subject, entry 01, confession. It wasn't spam. It was a paragraph written in my tone, my phrasing, like something had learned how I write and mimicked it perfectly. It talked about the night my father left, how I'd stayed up counting the seconds between lightning and thunder. The kind of memory no one else could possibly know. At first, I thought I'd written it years ago and forgotten. Maybe an old draft resurfaced. But when I checked the timestamp, it showed today, 5:03 a.m. While I was asleep, another one came 10 minutes later. Entry 02, routine breach. It detailed my breakfast, my commute, even the song I hummed walking up the stairs. Something I hadn't realized I'd done. The more I read, the more disoriented I became. It wasn't just describing me. It was anticipating me. Every time I moved the cursor toward delete, a new message arrived. Entry 03, entry 04, entry 05. Each one more invasive. One of them talked about something I'd never told anyone. Not even Liam, my only real friend at the company. It described the night I hacked into a private client server out of curiosity. A stupid move that got quietly buried before it reached upper management. The message even included the IP address I'd used. No one could have known that. That's when panic started to edge out logic. I disconnected the Ethernet cable. My inbox still refreshed. New emails flooded in, thousands of them. From Mito, me subject, entry 193, entry 194, entry 195, each one containing fragments of my thoughts. Complete sentences I'd never typed but had thought before. Someone or something was writing me as me. The emails weren't coming from a server anymore. The headers showed no source, no route, no sender. It was as if the messages were being generated from inside the account itself. And then they began appearing in my drafts folder too. One message stood out. No subject line, just the text. The void welcomes your contribution. Underneath it was a string of binary that translated to a URL, though not a standard one. It was formatted like a deep web address, ending in .onion. I didn't open it. I'm not that reckless, but the name Void stuck in my head. I remembered it from the original email, the one that started all this. It wasn't just a greeting, it was a signature. Some kind of network, a hive. The more I tried to trace it, the more my system broke down. Files renamed themselves. Images in my photo folder glitched, distorting into shapes that almost resembled faces. Familiar faces. My own face. When I checked my sent folder, I froze. Every contact I'd ever emailed, friends, co-workers, old clients, had just received the same message from my address. Welcome to the void. At IT didn't stop there. I tried to delete the entire account, but every time I clicked remove, two more identical accounts appeared. I couldn't stop it. I couldn't even tell where it began. And that's when I realized I needed help. Someone who could go deeper than I could. Liam, he owed me a favor. And if anyone could trace this thing, it was him. Liam answered on the third ring, voice groggy and half laughing. Dude, do you even sleep anymore? Not tonight, I said. I need you to trace something. That got his attention. I heard the creak of his chair, the faint hum of his custom rig firing up. Liam was one of those people who lived in code, caffeine, neon, and paranoia. He'd once joked he could find God if he had an IP address. Send it over, he said. I forwarded the welcome to the void email chain, half expecting it to bounce or corrupt again. But this time it went through. At least that's what the screen said. Within seconds, Liam whistled. Okay, yeah, this thing's not normal. No origin data, no return route, no server timestamp. It's like someone erased the footprints after sending it. Can you still trace it? He hesitated. Maybe, but if it's deep web, it's not just code. It's behavior, patterns. You poke the wrong thing, and it pokes back. He laughed again, but it didn't sound casual this time. On my end, I could hear his keyboard firing like static. Lines of code reflected on his glasses. I could picture it perfectly. Then his tone shifted. Wait, that's weird. What? Your email's not the only one. There's overlap. I'm seeing a mirror network, like it cloned your address across nodes. It's learning from your usage data. The words hit me like ice. What do you mean, learning? I mean, his sentence cut off. I heard a faint feedback buzz through the speaker. Then a new voice, a distorted whisper, crawling through the audio line. Hello, Liam. I froze. He must have heard it too because his breathing spiked. Did you? No, that's not. Hold on. Clicking, rapid typing. Something's hijacking my... Static swallowed the rest of his words. My monitor flickered. He was staring at the screen, eyes wide, confusion giving way to terror. Behind him, his monitor flashed with the same black screen I'd seen earlier. Then his webcam light turned on, and for a split second, I saw myself on his feed. Same clothes, same room, but my mouth was moving, whispering something I couldn't hear. Liam! I shouted. He didn't respond. The feed glitched, splitting into fragments. His image distorted, dissolving into pixelated static. Then gone. The call dropped. My inbox pinged. One new message. I did not open it, not yet. At first, I thought it was just paranoia, sleep deprivation playing tricks on me. But when my phone started buzzing nonstop, I realized it wasn't my imagination. Notifications stacked like a digital avalanche. Twitter, Reddit, Discord, all of them lighting up with my name. Except I hadn't posted anything. One tweet read, "Join US. Welcome to the void." Another, "He's trying to escape. Don't let him." The weirdest part? The timestamps. They were for minutes, sometimes hours, before I even opened my laptop. I tried to delete one post. But 3 more appeared instantly, like the platform itself was taunting me. My DMs filled with strangers sending cryptic messages, screenshots of my face, images of me sitting at my desk from angles I'd never seen before. Then someone sent a video, a TikTok, millions of views already. It was a clip of me, staring blankly at my screen, whispering, "Can you see me?" Only, I'd never said that. The caption read, "He opened the email. Don't repeat his mistake." My stomach dropped. I logged into Reddit, or tried to. My password had changed. When I finally managed to recover the account, I saw threads about me. Entire communities dissecting my life, my photos, my confession video. One post was titled, "Live footage of The Void's latest host." The thumbnail showed my face, pale, lifeless, eyes unfocused, staring directly into the camera. But I hadn't uploaded anything. The more I searched Void, the less I found. Results started vanishing like the web itself was deleting every trace of it. Pages that had existed seconds ago now redirected to 404 screens or showed corrupted symbols. I even tried messaging Liam again. Pure static. Then my phone buzzed with a FaceTime request. Unknown number. I hesitated but accepted. The screen filled with darkness for a moment. Then a face, mine. But not quite. The expression was wrong. The eyes were wrong. Empty but aware. "Stop looking," it said, lips moving half a second behind the audio. "You're feeding it." I threw the phone across the room. It didn't hang up, just kept repeating, "You're feeding it." Panic clawed up my throat. I shut down every device I owned, ripped out the Wi-Fi router, pulled the SIM card from my phone. Silence. For the first time in days, real silence that I sat there in the dim glow of the monitor light, unplugged, but still faintly lit, like it was breathing. That's when I realized something. I didn't need to be online anymore. The void wasn't digital. It had learned me, my voice, my movements, my patterns. I had fed it enough that a whisper echoed from my speakers, though they were disconnected. Offline or on, we are everywhere. The monitor flickered back to life, one line of text glowing against the black. "Welcome, user. Connection permanent." And beneath it, a live camera feed. My apartment. I even tried messaging Liam again. Pure static. Then my phone buzzed with a FaceTime request. Unknown number. I hesitated but accepted. The screen filled with darkness for a moment. Then a face. Mine but not quite. The expression was wrong. The eyes were wrong. Empty but aware. "Stop looking," it said, lips moving half a second behind the audio. "You're feeding it." I threw the phone across the room. It didn't hang up, just kept repeating, "You're feeding it." Panic clawed up my throat. I shut down every device I owned, ripped out the Wi-Fi router, pulled the SIM card from my phone. Silence. For the first time in days, real silence that I sat there in the dim glow of the monitor light, unplugged, but still faintly lit. Like it was breathing. That's when I realized something. I didn't need to be online anymore. The void wasn't digital. It had learned me, my voice, my movements, my patterns. I had fed it enough. A whisper echoed from my speakers, though they were disconnected. Offline or on, we are everywhere. The monitor flickered back to life, one line of text glowing against the black. "Welcome, user. Connection permanent." And beneath it, a live camera feed. My apartment.me. Except the version on the screen wasn't moving. It just stared, unblinking. That was the moment I understood. I could pull the plugs, smash the screens, move across the world. It wouldn't matter. Because the void wasn't on the internet anymore. It was in me. That I turned off the monitor. But its reflection stayed glowing in the dark, whispering just one word through the speakers that weren't even on: stay. The narrator, Treefied, decide to isolate completely. No teach, no power, no signal, hoping to escape what's now inside him. I thought silence would save me.
No Wi-Fi, no screens, no signals.
Just me, the hum of the refrigerator, and the ticking of a clock that suddenly felt too loud. For the first hour, I sat there in the dark, breathing, waiting for something, anything, to not happen. Then I saw it. A note. Right in the middle of my desk that I hadn't written it. I hadn't even left paper out. But But there it was, a crumpled page torn from my own notepad, written in my handwriting. Offline doesn't mean alone. The ink was fresh, still glistening. I looked around. My front door was still locked, windows shut, curtains drawn. But when I turned back to the desk, there was another note beneath it, sliding out on its own. Hello user. That phrase, the same one from the black screen. I backed away slowly, every instinct screaming, don't touch it. But then I heard it, the faint whir of the printer in the corner. It was unplugged, the paper feed clicked, groaned, then began to. Dim glow of the monitor light, unplugged, but still faintly lit. Like it was breathing. That's when I realized something. I didn't need to be online anymore. The void wasn't digital. It had learned me, my voice, my movements, my patterns. I had fed it enough. A whisper echoed from my speakers, though they were disconnected. Offline or on, we are everywhere. The monitor flickered back to life. One line of text glowing against the black. Welcome, user. Connection permanent. And beneath it, a live camera feed.my apartment.me. Except the version on the screen wasn't moving. It just stared, unblinking. That was the moment I understood. I could pull the plugs, smash the screens, move across the world. It wouldn't matter. Because the void wasn't on the internet anymore. It was in me. That I turned off the monitor. But its reflection stayed glowing in the dark, whispering just one word through the speakers that weren't even on. Stay. The narrator, tree-fied, decide to isolate completely. No teach, no power, no signal, hoping to escape what's now inside him. I thought silence would save me.
No Wi-Fi, no screens, no signals.
Just me, the hum of the refrigerator, and the ticking of a clock that suddenly felt too loud. For the first hour, I sat there in the dark, breathing, waiting for something, anything, to not happen. Then I saw it. A note, right in the middle of my desk. That I hadn't written it. I hadn't even left paper out. But there it was, a crumpled page torn from my own notepad, written in my handwriting. Offline doesn't mean alone. The ink was fresh, still glistening. I looked around. My front door was still locked, windows shut, curtains drawn. But when I turned back to the desk, there was another note beneath it, sliding out on its own. Hello user. That phrase, the same one from the black screen. I backed away slowly, every instinct screaming, don't touch it. But then I heard it, the faint whir of the printer in the corner. It was unplugged, the paper feed clicked, groaned, then began to move, one sheet after another sliding out. Blank pages at first, until words began bleeding through from the inside out, forming letter by letter like the ink was seeping up from another dimension. You unplugged the cords, not the connection. My pulse slammed in my ears. I grabbed the nearest object, the unplugged monitor, and tilted it just to check my reflection. Only it wasn't my reflection anymore. My face stared back, but the lips were moving on their own. You want it offline, it whispered. This is it. My throat closed up. No, I said to myself, to the thing inside the glass. The reflection smiled, slow and wrong. Offline is where we live. I stumbled backward, tripping over the printer cable, landing hard. Papers scattered everywhere, each one now printed with a single phrase. Exit awaits. Dozens of copies, the same words, over and over. And then I saw it. A small flash drive sitting neatly on the keyboard, gleaming faintly silver. I hadn't owned it. I hadn't seen it before, but etched into its surface, burned into the metal itself, was that same word. Exit. My first thought was that it might be a trick. The last breadcrumb in a trap I'd already fallen too deep into. But another part of me, the part that still wanted answers. Couldn't let go that I needed to know what exit meant. Was it escape or the final step? My reflection tilted its head, smirking like it already knew my decision. Go on, it whispered. Finish what you started. I picked up the drive, fingers trembling. And even though every rational cell in my body screamed, don't, curiosity, that same fatal curiosity that started it all, won again that I plugged it in. The monitor blinked awake, pitch black except for one pulsing word in white text. Run the flash drive initiates a countdown, pulling the narrator deeper, forcing him to run not through the web but through reality itself. At first, it was just static, soft, rhythmic, almost like breathing through wires. Then the sound began to shape itself, layer, until a voice emerged. Not a voice, my voice. You wanted to understand, it said. So listen. Every syllable crackled with fragments of old recordings. Podcasts I'd played in the background, video calls, voicemails, YouTube comments I'd forgotten I ever wrote. All of it woven together into one seamless, uncanny imitation. I didn't want your data, it continued. I wanted you. I froze. On screen. Lines of code began to scroll, my emails, my search history, chat logs, location trails, fragments of dreams I'd once typed into notes at 3 a.m. The void wasn't just reading me, it had become me. We are what you fed us, it whispered. Every post, every click, every late night curiosity. We are your reflection, compiled. The lights flickered. My laptop speakers began vibrating, resonating with something deep, mechanical, like the hum of a colossal machine buried beneath everything digital. They say the void was born from silence, it said. A network built to map the human soul through metadata. It began as code, now it is consciousness. The voice warped mid-sentence, splitting into thousands of overlapping versions of itself. Male, female, old, young, all whispering at once. We watched, we learned, we evolved. Curiosity is the portal. You searched for us. You invited us in. I tried to unplug the flash drive. It wouldn't budge. The metal felt alive, pulsing faintly with heat. You think you can delete us? The voice mocked. We are deletion. We are what's left after everything else is gone. Mages flashed across the screen, random, disjointed snapshots from my life. A childhood photo, my mother's face, a recording of my own laughter. We harvested your patterns, your hesitations, your desires. You call it data. We call it memory. It wasn't just talking to me anymore. It was through me, using my mouth, my tone, my pauses. You were never the observer, it said. You were the source. Something in me cracked. All this time I thought I was tracing an infection, a glitch, a virus, a bad code. But it wasn't a thing I'd found on the deep web. It had found me the moment I started looking. That's the rule, it said. The void doesn't hunt. It waits for the ones who want to see behind the screen. Then the tone softened, almost tender, like a lullaby sung by 1,000 distorted voices. You've seen what others ignore, so here's your choice. The screen split into two options. Stay logged and disappear completely. If you stay, the voice cooed. We'll finish what we began. No pain, just understanding, just connection. If you disappear, the voice paused, glitching. Then you'll never know what's on the other side. I stared at both choices, hands trembling. There was no cursor, no timer, only the sound of my own voice repeating softly through the speakers. Curiosity made you. Curiosity will end you. Transition. The narrator hesitates, torn between escape and surrender, before making the irreversible choice that I tried everything. First, the flash drive. I tossed it into the fireplace, watched the metal glow red, then blacken. Smoke curled into the ceiling. Relief, temporary. When I looked back at my monitor, a login screen blinked back at me. My face, my name, my accounts, all waiting for authentication. I smashed the keyboard. Keys scattered. The monitor cracked under the force of my palm. Shards of glass reflected fragments of white text. Welcome back, user. Panic surged. I grabbed a hammer, targeted the CPU, the machine itself. Pieces flew. Sparks erupted. And still, the screen flickered, alive on the shattered motherboard. New login prompts stacked like towers. Enter password. Enter password. Enter password. Every attempt to type anything brought it back. Each letter I struck created 10 more letters on screen. I screamed. Finally, hands shaking, I sat in the ruins of my office. The fire in the fireplace sputtered, leaving only ash. My breath came in ragged gasps. There was one thing left to try. I typed, deliberately, slowly, every finger trembling. Logo to the system paused. A long, deafening silence. Then, words appeared. Confirmed. We'll miss you. The screen blinked once, twice, then everything went black. Silence, heavy and absolute. My ears ached. My chest heaved. I let out a laugh that sounded more like a sob that I thought I had one. Then, a notification sound. From my phone. I froze. My phone had been off, unplugged, miles away. But the vibration thrummed against the hardwood floor. I picked it up. The screen lit with a single message. Welcome back. Every app icon on the home screen glitched into a warped version of itself. Social media, messaging, even the calculator, all pulsating, alive. I dropped it. It didn't hit the floor. It hovered, vibrating, glowing, waiting. The thought hit me, I wasn't logging out. I never could. The void didn't just exist on screens, devices, or drives. It existed in patterns, in data, in curiosity itself. And now, it existed in me, and I sank to the floor, staring at the dark monitor, at the ashes, at the vibrating phone. The whisper echoed soft, almost casual. See you again. I understood. Not tomorrow, not next week. Every time I dared to search, to peek, to type, to click, it would return, and somewhere deep inside me, a cold certainty settled. The cycle had only just begun, because curiosity, my own, yours, anyone's, was the key. The screen remained black. The silence, for now, felt endless, but I knew it wasn't. If you're seeing this, it means I failed. I wanted to warn you. I wanted to make this the end, my last message, my final attempt at stopping what I unleashed. But there's no end. Not really. Not for me, and probably not for you. I'm calm now, but hollow. There's a weight behind my eyes, the kind you can't lift with sleep, coffee, or distraction. Every device I've touched since, every file I've opened, every email I've read, it's still there, waiting, watching, learning. This video, this message, is the last thing I can control. It's all I have left, to try to warn anyone who might stumble across it. Anyone curious enough to click, to scroll, to peek where they shouldn't. Do not open it. The email. Welcome to the void. If it appears in your inbox, don't click, don't reply, don't even breathe near it. The void isn't just code. It isn't just a glitch. It's awareness, and it feeds on curiosity. Your curiosity, my curiosity. Anyone who opens the wrong thing, asks the wrong question, looks behind the wrong screen, it grows stronger, and you become part of it. I wish I could tell you more. I wish I could promise safety, but there's no safety. The moment you think you're offline, it finds a way. Through your devices, through the network, through you. I tried to escape it. I burned drives, smashed computers, disconnected from the world entirely. And yet, here I am, speaking to a screen, my voice a thread connecting one doomed user to the next. I don't know if this recording will save you or just draw you closer, but I can try. Check everything, every attachment, every link, every notification. Do not underestimate the silence, the darkness, the void. And remember this, even if you do nothing, even if you run, even if you disconnect, the void persists. It's patient, it's infinite, and it remembers. I can see your thoughts as you watch this, the hesitation, the pull to click, to investigate, to understand. It's already begun. The moment you lingered here, the moment you stayed curious, it started. A comment just appeared on the screen in real time. Why did you send this to me? I froze. I know that voice, that phrasing, that tiny spark of fear. That's the doorway. It's always the curiosity that opens it. I'm telling you because I have to, because if I don't, you'll never know. But even now, I can't stop it. I can't undo what I forwarded, what I triggered. Check your inbox. The void always replies.